Now let's bring in national security analyst, chairman of actforamerica.org, and author of the book Rise, Brigitte Gabriel. Brigitte, you know, I chuckle, but it's very concerning. China's buying a lot of our assets. We have some really specific areas that we shouldn't allow them. Energy, finance, telecommunications, and food, but they're actively buying up our assets here. And when you do that, you're in bed with the communists, aren't you?
You are in bed with the communists, but most people don't even know they are in bed with the Communist Party. What these Chinese companies are doing, they are creating subsidiaries companies, sub-companies, in order to deceive the public, and that's how they are ending up getting on the American Stock Exchange without going through the scrutiny and investigations that other foreign and American companies have to go through. So American investors are buying into these companies, not knowing that they are actually buying into the Chinese Communist Party, which pretty much controls everything in China. What is also so scary, Eric, and you mentioned that, is buying American farmland. Two things we are rich in, energy and food, and this is exactly what China needs. The Chinese need energy and food. So what they are doing is not only they are buying American farmland, which, by the way, they own now over $2 billion worth of American farmland. And not only they're buying the farmland, they're buying it very strategically close to military installations, etc. And they're also buying the same thing in Africa and Latin America, and that poses a major threat to our national security.
We'll show a little VO here of offices. It's a company called CapVision, a consulting firm. They have offices in New York and Shanghai. Two American firms have been raided in recent weeks as Chinese authorities exercise their power under the new security law, meaning this, Brigitte, they want to come here and do what they want to do on our soil, and we get in bed with them and open up an office there, and they're raiding our offices there. There is no fair play in China.
No fair play in China at all. Look, they make their goals. We already know who they are. They are a dictatorship. They abuse and control their own people. They jail and kill people who dissent. And they are even threatening Chinese people living in the United States, and even made arrests in the United States of Chinese people taking them to China. This has got to stop. And the American public needs to put pressure on our elected officials to pass legislation in Congress that will stop this shenanigan. We need legislation. And I'm glad to tell you that we have actually many members of Congress right now who have introduced legislation to address specifically this issue. And some legislation is bipartisan, sponsored by both Democrats and Republicans, because finally our elected officials are understanding this is a threat to our country. And we need people to call their elected officials and put pressure on them to pass, not only introduce this type of legislation, but also pass this type of legislation. And we at Act for America, if people can go to actforamerica.org, click on Act Now. We have many campaigns of specific bills introduced in Congress to stop and protect Americans from investing in China, and for transparency that people can contact their members of Congress about these bills.
If I may, and being a libertarian that I am, I'm against more government regulation. I hate more government. I want them to stay out. But in this case, I think what we can do is use Congress and use the power of government to educate people that 1.6 billion customer base may be important to you right now, but it might actually bring down your own industry. You just have to educate these people to stay the heck out of China, or at least know when you do business with China, no matter if they think you're doing business with a private company, you're doing business with the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party. Brigitte Gabriel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.